Grassy Narrows First Nation in Northern Ontario says it's taking the province to court over its Mining Act. The First Nation is demanding an end to mining prospectors staking claims on their traditional land without their knowledge or consent, and they've expressed their concerns at a news conference just a short time ago.
Our government, because we are a government, and we've always stated that we need to operate on government-to-government basis, and again, that doesn't happen. Not in Ontario anyway. I've never met Doug Ford. I would like to meet him, and I think our consultants have written a letter, and if we could sit down with him and talk face to face, but that's never happened. So this relationship is not government to government, and it's not the way to operate.
CBC's Ithil Musa is following this story for us from the Ontario Legislature. Tell us more about what was said at last hour's news conference.
Well, Natasha, it's really essentially about protecting their land. That is what the Grassy Narrows First Nation said this morning. They want to protect their land from industrial projects, and they want to be able to have a say. They want to be consulted. And right now they're taking legal action because they say Ontario's Mining Act, as it stands, it does not require prospectors to consult First Nations when they're staking a claim on their traditional territory. And the First Nations, they are arguing that that breaches First Nation treaty rights under Section 35 of the Constitution. It is relatively easy in Ontario for people or corporations to stake a claim on land. It is done online, and it just requires a small fee. They don't have to travel to the land or territory, and they don't have to consult affected communities. Here's Chief Rudy Turtle with more.
We just want to reiterate that any activity that's in Grassy Narrows territory, we should be consulted. We should sit down together, and we should be informed about the activities that are about to take place and that will take place if anything should go forward. And these practices have to change. It's damaging our land. We want our land to remain intact.
Grassy Narrows First Nation says there are about 10,000 claims in their area, and they say they're getting notices about claims after the fact with, no say and no consultation. The First Nation filed a lawsuit last month against the Ontario and federal governments, arguing they have violated their duties under Treaty 3 by failing to protect against the effects of mercury contamination. In the 1960s and the 1970s, the Dryden paper mill dumped about 9 million tons of mercury in their waters, leading to serious health effects.
And Ithil, this is just the latest iteration of a long fight between the province and the issue of land development on specific territories. Let's talk about the Grassy Narrows First Nation again and what they're hoping to get out of this whole thing.
Well, right now what they want is for the Ontario government to stop all claims when it comes to mining. They also, so they want that an order to be issued. The First Nation also wants the government to rescind all existing claims. There are thousands of them. And finally, moving forward, they want the Ontario government to consult them when it comes to industrial projects on their traditional lands.
Okay, CBC's Ithil Musa in Toronto. Thank you, Ithil.
You're welcome.